A man walks up to me and hands me the latest energy drink. Run faster, jump higher. Man, I'm not gonna let you poison me. I threw it on the ground. You must think I'm a joke. I ain't gonna be part of this system, man.
Greetings, exiles. I'm CodRayZeal, and today I will be Dragon-Joocing Woolfio's Lord of Zombies build. So why did I pick Woolfio's Lord of Zombies build? Well, first of all, it uses a unique chest, which means we can't use shafts to go low life. Next, it scales both energy shield and life, which makes it good for Dragon-Joocing. It's also great for practicing Dragon-Jooced, since the build can survive pretty well without using it effectively. And lastly, well, Woolfio is good people, so I thought I'd bring a little more attention to his videos. So why is Dragon-Jooced a good fit for this build? Well, it benefits from extra auras, it gains extra defense from reserved life, it has a large life pool for very little investment on the tree, it has an alternate healing source for life, which is the zombie's leech, and being low life allows for some strong minion healing, which I'll go over later. So then why wouldn't you Dragon-Jooce the Lord of Zombies? Well, first of all, it requires some more expensive gear, since your jewelry, in addition to having a strength requirement, now has a high chaos resistance requirement. Next, it requires more awareness of what monsters can deal chaos damage, because not knowing this could cost you your life, because you're not paying attention to your life and rather just your energy shield total. Next, it will test your reflexes on occasion, so it's not for people who just want to sit back and relax and let the zombies do all the work. Lastly, the low visibility that being low life causes can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So let's go over the passive tree differences between the two builds. First of all, you'll see that where Woolfio went through the Marauder to get to beneath the Scion, I've gone straight through the Scion life rectangle to get there. This is because I needed more points for other things. You'll also notice in this area that I've picked up the Flask nodes and also the dexterity leading up to the jewel socket there. Next, you'll see that Woolfio has quite a bit more minion life and leech and things than I do, whereas I've just picked up some of the essential minion nodes that were on the way. This is because we have a different method for healing the minions. Next, you'll notice that I've picked up slightly more aura nodes than Woolfio. This is because I'm running a few more auras than he is. You'll also see that I've spec'd Zealot's Oath. This is because we have a different method for dealing with things like desecrated ground and small amounts of chaos damage over time. And lastly, I picked up Mind Over Matter as well as some mana passives just to bolster my mana and give me more energy shield per mana point. Also, this is not a mistake. I needed 10 more strength and this node came with 10 more intelligence as well. So now that you know the passive tree differences, let's go over where our jewels are located. Now, in Woolfio's build, he's got the two violent dead jewels to the left of the witch and to the left of the Templar, whereas my two are to the left of the Templar and above the witch. Next, his efficient training jewel is above the witch, where my efficient training jewel is to the left of the witch. This was because this gave me more strength this way, since I don't come up on the top of the witch. Next, you'll notice that he's using 3 brawn jewels, where I was only able to fit in 1 brawn jewel. This is because we require the Vigil jewel, as well as an inertia jewel to convert some dexterity to strength. So let's go over the gear. It's for the most part the same. We still use the Baron, Joffrey's Sanctuary, Mon'tregul's Grasp, Shaper's Touch, Alberon's Warpath, and Astramentus. We do, however, need Chaos Resistance on our belt and our rings. We also need to change one of our rings to an unset ring to fit in Clarity, and we also switch our shield to a Prism Guardian for a little extra nudge for the auras. So now let's go over the gem configuration. If you'd like to have a look at Woolfio's gem configuration, it's in the description of his video. So starting off in our Mon'tregul's Grasp, we have Enduring Cry to generate some endurance charges and proc Prayer for Glory. Next we're using Vigilant Strike along with faster attacks. This allows us to keep a long duration Fortify on our zombies every time we get a chance to hit an enemy. Next, in the Baron, I've left my raised zombies in here. For no particular reason, Woolfio's gem configuration would work just as well in this build. That is linked with multi-strike, minion speed, and minion damage. In our Prism Guardian, we have Purity of Ice, Haste, and Discipline, though any purity could be substituted out for the Purity of Ice. Then in our boots, we have Purity of Fire, Hatred, and Purity of Lightning, along with Enlighten, just so that we have enough mana to cast our zombies. It's painful to have to disable an aura or remove gems to resummon your zombies if they die. In our gloves, we have Desecrate, Spirit Offering, and Convocation, all linked with increased duration, mainly so that the Spirit Offering can get increased duration. In our chest, we have Summon Raging Spirits and Summon Stone Golem, linked with minion damage, melee splash, empower, and melee physical damage. The reason I've got 2 in the 6th link is so that I can create 2 more pseudo the Baron Helm configurations for both my Raging Spirits and my Summon Stone Golem. And lastly, in our ring, we have Clarity. The level of Clarity depends on how much free mana you have. It should coincide with how much a zombie costs to summon. So now let's go over some Flask information, since this is a Dragon-Jooced build after all. So we're obviously using Dragon-Jooced. In addition to that, we're using a Sulphur Flask to provide some extra healing to our minions when they're standing on top of us. We're using a Quicksilver Flask for movement since we don't really have much other choices. I'm using a Witchfire Brew just to curse enemies with vulnerabilities, since most of my minions deal mainly physical damage. This is by no means necessary and is just a perk of being rich. And then the special part about this build is we're using a Panicked Hallowed Life Flask of Animation. Now, the Panicked affix causes instant recovery when on low life, but the zombies don't need to be on low life for this to affect them. As long as we're on low life, we can heal them by a massive amount simply by pressing our flask, so we can spam our flask to keep them up. We use a Hallowed Life Flask because it gains the most life per charge. This is also used to heal our life when our zombies aren't leeching, or straight after using Dragon-Jooce if you want to create a sort of healing effect from the Dragon-Juice. With all said and done, the playstyle is slightly different. You need to be running up to mobs, hitting them with Vigilant Strike. You need to be Dragon-Juicing every now and then. And all in all, I found the playstyle to be rather enjoyable, and I did really enjoy playing this build. So thank you to Woolfio for coming up with his version of the build, which was where this all started. And it seems like this build will be functional in 3.0, but it's not exactly a league starter because it requires a bit of specific stats on your jewelry to get functioning. So I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed Woolfio's original video, because chances are you'll have a look at that or have already seen that. Also, do like the video and subscribe if you haven't already done so.